So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is almost upon us, with just 2 months to go until the release. I've pre-ordered the game, I've booked time off work, and I'm ready to lock myself away for a few weeks doing nothing but looking after and improving Henry. My own health may be at risk, but I'm not the one tasked with saving the kingdom. That would be Henry.
Damn it, my stomach hurts.
Sorry, Henry, here, take my last scrap of bread, here. I haven't eaten in 7 days, but you need it more than I.
I feel quite hungry.
Why, you ungrateful But in my excitement, I thought it only right to do another video of the upcoming game. If you saw my last Kingdom Come Deliverance video, you'll know that I have huge expectations for this game. The original game by Warhorse was made with a small team, small budget, and it was their first project. That game went on to sell 8 million copies. When I think what they accomplished with those restraints, I can only imagine what they'll do with their current team and their current budget. Based off of the trailers and the early game footage, it appears they're going to improve on the sequel in almost every aspect. So I figured, why not discuss 10 of the major improvements that we've been able to surmise based off of what we've seen so far. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 took me almost 600 hours to beat, and this new game is at least double that size. I did a video on my expectations for the new game, here, in case you want to watch it, but in summary, I truly think that this game is going to up the standards in RPG games forever. It's going to surprise so many players, and I've seen many people leave this game off their list of most anticipated games for 2025. I truly believe that this game will make a huge splash in the gaming industry, and after this, there'll be a well-known brand with the likes of The Elder Scrolls, Witcher, and other huge titles. But anyway, let's get into it and cover 10 ways that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will improve upon the first game. Quick side note, if you're new here and you love discussing video games, especially RPGs like Kingdom Come Deliverance, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to the video. So the easiest one to first mention is the improved graphics. Just from the trailer and the early gameplay footage that we've seen, the game looks incredible. Naturally, the first game was for the last generation, and this game is for current gen. But that being said, a game can still look bad. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 not only looked incredible for its time, but the map was incredibly detailed. If you took a walk through the forest alongside a stream, everything was placed specifically. Rocks, branches, weeds, it was as if every inch of the map was personally handcrafted. Nothing was missed or felt generic. It felt like a living, breathing world. This game appears to be even more beautiful and just as detailed. The graphics that we've seen so far appear to rival any game that's been released for this generation. I often think of the gameplay trailer showing the beautiful world of like how Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer looked when it dropped back in the day. It was a huge step up, and we can expect that here. Improved lighting, textures, and character models provide a more immersive experience. Bohemia's landscapes feel richer and more alive with next-gen graphic capabilities. The next easiest thing to spot is the UI or UX. So UI stands for user interface and UX means user experience. Basically, it refers to how the game is understood by a player. So when we see a menu, navigate it, this is when the player begins to experience those things. With Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, the menus, map markers, the map in general, equipment, stats, everything like that was not quite top tier. It took some getting used to. Some of it appeared a little dated, and I remember the menu often lagged as I had to navigate through different pages. Basically, there was a learning period where you had to keep going on the menu, learning little by little until you fully understood it. It took a while to master. Some of the UI also seemed a bit unclean or inefficient. Basically, it could use some work. Based on what we've seen in the new game, it would appear that they've managed to improve every aspect of this. The inventory system now features a collapsible and expandable category section, allowing players to organize items more efficiently. This design reduces clutter and it enables quicker access to the essential equipment. The inventory screen has been dimmed to improve readability, and minor HUD changes, such as a smaller reticle and updated compass elements, contribute to a cleaner interface. The HUD adopts a more minimalistic design, reducing on-screen distractions whilst conveying crucial information more effectively. Map icons have been resized to be less intrusive. Essentially, Warhorse have identified every problem with their original UI and improved it. You cannot ask for more. This particular change will really help new players get to grips with the menus quicker and have a better experience. I know a lot of people tried Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and were put off by these sort of things. These new changes will open it and make it more accessible for all types of players, thus making the game more well known and also be able to increase the sales. There is an enhanced combat system as well. Melee combat has been enhanced for smoother controls, more responsive timing, and expanded techniques, making fights feel more realistic and satisfying. One of the major complaints about the first game is how sometimes the combat felt clunky or unresponsive, especially if you got into fights with multiple people at once. Based off of the combat we've seen so far in the early gameplay footage, you could already tell that it's been polished up and it looks far more structured. This is hugely important to Warhorse because this was the one thing that put some casual players off their game. The combat was hard to understand. Naturally, if you dedicated time to it and committed, you would learn to love it, but people are not that forgiving in the world of gaming, especially not nowadays. Warhorse's job was to make the combat easier to understand, more crisp, more responsive, less clunky, whilst also managing to maintain some of the challenge and the realism that the first game had. Based on what we've seen so far, it would appear that they've pulled it off. New weapons. The original game gave us a good selection of weapons to choose from, but the sequel has gone above and beyond with adding new weapons, creating even more variety. To start with, crossbows have been added. These powerful ranged weapons are being introduced, offering an alternative to traditional bows. Crossbows can also be fired whilst riding your horse, adding versatility to mounted combat. Early firearms have also been added, reflecting the historical period's technological advancements. These weapons are likely to be powerful but may come with drawbacks such as slow reload times or limited ammo. Large shields known as pavises are now available, providing enhanced protection, especially for archers during sieges or ranged confrontations. Polearms, which had a limited functionality in the original game, are now fully implemented, offering players more options in melee combat. The combat system has been expanded to include new weapon combinations, allowing for more complex and varied fighting techniques. Although Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 had a nice selection of weapons, it was quite limited. In the sequel, it would appear there are a lot more variations available, which either means more fun ways to experiment in combat, or more things to train Henry in for hours. Bernard, where are you? Stand still, I need to test this new gun out. There's also been huge changes to the map setup. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 significantly expands its world, offering players a more extensive and diverse environment to explore. The game features 2 separate maps, each approximately the size of the entire map from the first game. This effectively doubles the explorable area, providing a vast landscape for players to traverse. Key locations include Kuttenberg, historically significant as a major silver mining centre, one of the largest cities in Bohemia during the 15th century. The city is meticulously recreated, featuring hundreds of NPCs with daily routines, making it a bustling urban environment. The second map encompasses the Bohemian Paradise, a region known for its natural beauty, including forests, hills and rock formations. This area offers a contrast to the urban setting of Kuttenberg, providing diverse landscapes and exploration. With the map being so big, it offers 2 totally different experiences. If you've ever played The Witcher 3, you'll know that the first large countryside area is Velen, and then you have the large city of Novigrad. The diversity between these two was so huge, and it had a different tone as well. It basically gave you 2 different game maps and experiences in one game. This sounds very similar. If you got lost in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, best believe you'll get twice as lost here. Quests are way more detailed and in-depth. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 introduces several enhancements to its quest design, building upon the foundation of the first game to offer a more immersive and dynamic experience. The sequel offers a broader range of quest styles, moving beyond the fetch and escort missions that were prevalent in the first game. Players can engage in complex storylines that involve intricate problem solving and moral dilemmas. Many quests now feature branching paths with multiple outcomes, influenced by the player choice. This design enhances replayability and allows for personalized storytelling. Quests now incorporate new gameplay mechanics as well, with such elements as blacksmithing being added, allowing players to customize weapons which can be essential for certain missions. The sequel places greater emphasis on stealth-based quests, providing opportunities for players to engage in thievery and espionage, with systems that offer deeper engagement for those preferring a stealthy approach. Essentially, Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 had a few really detailed side quests, but the bulk were mainly fetch quests. Expect to see far more detailed quests in the sequel, with much more varied outcomes as well, based on player choice. NPC interactions will also be enhanced. NPCs will now react to players based on previous encounters and reputation and choices made throughout the game. This leads to a more responsive and believable world. We saw this in effect in the first game, where if you got caught stealing a lot, you could see guards approach you for random searches. If you got caught stealing from a shopkeeper, when you returned, he would get mad at you and remember your original interaction. This was all there, but now it's been enhanced and added to. For example, in the trailer we saw Henry getting branded, and it's fair to assume this was due to Henry earning a bad reputation as a thief. In the sequel, NPCs will be far more aware of Henry's reactions, and the consequences will be more obvious. I know damn well that I will have a brand slapped on me before 10 minutes in, as I became completely addicted to robbing people's homes in the first game. Maybe I have a problem? The dialogue system has been refined to offer more meaningful choices, with conversations that can significantly impact quest progression and the outcomes. Essentially, think of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and just imagine it with even more depth. NPCs will act like real people, living their daily lives, and when Henry shows up, they'll remember what he does and what he said. Dialogue options and skill trees are more diverse, offering a deeper impact on story progression and character development. Again, the first game was fantastic, but it was quite limited on how much freedom a player had when it came to dialogue. Remember though, Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was a crowd-funded game, and they managed to achieve something incredible. This sequel though is Warhorse at their best. The first game had teething problems, but in this game they've been able to expand on everything. So, the player can expect not only to have more options in dialogue choice, allowing them to roleplay even further with Henry, but also more skills to level up and more perks as well. With the additional stats to level up, perks to acquire, it really gives the player a lot more to work towards, and this reflects well as the game's map is twice as large. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 also introduces significant enhancements to both its cutscenes and narrative structure, building upon the foundation from the original game. The sequel features approximately 5 hours of cutscenes, providing a more cinematic storytelling approach compared to the first. Advancements in motion capture and facial animation contribute to more realistic and expressive character portrayals as well. Efforts have been made to ensure that cutscenes transition smoothly into gameplay, maintaining immersion and continuity throughout the player's experience. The storyline in the sequel is described as a darker and more complex storyline, delving into mature themes and presenting players with morally ambiguous choices that significantly impacts the game's world and its characters. The story in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was good, but the story in the sequel will have far higher stakes, with bigger battles, more historical characters, and a longer length. The game offers a substantial amount of content as well, with the main story and side quests approaching 100 hours of gameplay. If you add this in with my sword practice and archery practice, that's almost 10,000 hours of content. Or maybe I'm just really bad at combat training. Finally, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 introduces significant enhancements to both the crafting system and the in-game economy. Unlike its predecessor, the sequel allows players to craft their own weapons and armor. This feature includes a new minigame that requires attention to detail, ensuring that the quality of the crafted items reflects the player's skill and precision. The alchemy system has been expanded, enabling players to gather a wider variety of ingredients and create more complex potions, antidotes, and poisons. This deepens the role of herbalism. The in-game economy has been rebalanced to reflect a more authentic medieval experience. Earning and managing wealth now requires careful planning, with adjustments made to item values and the availability of resources. Prices of goods and services will fluctuate based on supply and demand, and the player's impact impact on the world. So the days of me killing a few rabbits then cashing in are over. I hope we don't have to build another town, otherwise it's going to take a long time. So these are the top 10 improvements that we can expect to see in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 compared to the original game. The bottom line though is this game will improve in every aspect. I've done another video on this, but the main thing is that the first game was made with a small team, a small budget and limited time. What Warhorse pulled off with those restraints was nothing short of a miracle, but now, with far more funding, a bigger team, and the experience and feedback from the first game, the sky's the limit for the team at Warhorse. It appears they're on a mission to make the most immersive RPG game of all time. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game when it releases in February of this year. Another thing that I've noticed is that Warhorse clearly listened to player feedback. Everything that anybody had any gripes about from the first game, it would appear that it was heard, addressed and corrected. If the first game was able to sell 8 million copies, imagine what the new game can do. But anyway, that's it for this one, but what do you guys think? Can you think of any other changes that you consider massive improvements? Which change are you looking forward to the most? And if you could recommend any other changes, what would they be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it the thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm Av Gaming, where we do video game analysis, identifying what makes great games great and what could make good games great as well. Thanks for watching. Av out.